Will, your connection is unstable. Please wait while we try and connect you. Why is it unstable? Are we good? Are we good and live? I believe so. You're live on YouTube, brother. One nice thing. I'd laugh if someone popped in and started watching this as I'm doing it. It'd just be fucking hilarious. But literally just finished work at 6 o'clock. Been working from home all day. So I just thought, you know what, we smashed work. Now I'm going to hop on, I'm going to do my market work. You know, keep the flow going of getting shit done. In the tech fleece and the Supreme, that's like 15 years old or something. Bit of J. Cole going. But I ain't even... So to begin with, we'll go over the trades that I did take. The whys, the whens, the what became as of. So we'll grab this shit up now. Make sure I share my screen this time. Window. Euro CHF. Did this last time. Completely forgot to start sharing it, so good night. Good day. Right, so we're going to go over the markets that we actually took trades on. So to begin with, Euro JPY. That market ended up pushing up beautifully as anticipated. What is that noise? So, beginning off with the trades, we have NZD USD, which I'm not going to go into too much reason of the whole market breakdown because I've already filmed that. So, we can just actually dive into the trade and why I took this. So, obviously, with the bearish bias, right, I see this and I see this. So, I see this pullback, reject the EMA, sort of create like this left head, right shoulder. But then you see in this area, we're overall bullish, right? And we're creating this. This is the main thing I see. I see this beautiful, slow and steady pullback, which price created that breakout of, right? But I see this and I'm anticipating for this move. So I see the market start to come down. So I'm on my lower time frames. I see this little consolidation, right? So we can see lower low, lower low, lower low, and then the market starts pushing down. So I enter here. The original trade I took was on this breakout. Price pulled back. We got stopped out. But then after we got stopped out, I see on the 30-minute, look at this beautiful engulfing, right? Also the same on the 1 hour engulfing, and we're breaking below this area. So I enter. And then boom, when I enter, I see price, an alert on my phone, boom. Prices just pushed down super quick, as you can literally see. Price shot down within 10 minutes. But then I closed, right? Now, this might have slightly been influenced to other trades. But the reason that I closed on this trade, and before we actually closing, everything was completely right. Because this market didn't have the clean structure. It didn't have the higher time frame momentum either. So this was purely lower time frame. So just taking that little in and out was exactly what I needed to do on this market. It was perfect because you can clearly see I exit. After my exit, the market literally reversed and then went down. So I was able to capitalize on this tiny little movement and just understanding the break and retest of this lower time frame area of interest, which is one thing that I did from last week. I should actually write these down so I can go over them each week. There's my pen. Fuck. My Parker pen. Oh, I think it's downstairs. That's disappointing. Unless it's here somewhere. No, can't see it. Anyways, the Parker pen is lovely. But shit, what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to write down this week's points so then I can go over them next week and see if I applied them. So just off the top of my head, that is one. This, by the way, literally just been journaling anything that pops into my mind during the week or from a trade or a market. I've just been putting it in here. Not like crazy full, but before I started filming more, I was just writing it down. And that obviously led to me like, fuck, I need to start journaling, actually journaling, not just the trade on an Excel sheet, but video documentary of me explaining why, when, what I did. So I'll write these down when we get to it in a bit. But for now, we can see took one loss, then we took one win for a quick little 1-to-1. Then the next market we took a trade on was, put it over here. Wow, shit, don't understand. Did I take a trade on this? No, I wanted to. You see, my market analysis is pretty fucking accurate. That's all I'm going to say. Like, market, what did I anticipate? Price to push up. Didn't trade it, but it pushed up. Pushed down, pushed down. Pushed up. Pushed up. Didn't push up. Pushed. I was anticipating for the push down, which did happen. I was anticipating for this little move here to create this and capitalize, but the market opened and just went straight down. Right, there you go. But overall, that was a nice analysis. That was correct. This was also correct, but price just went up. This was also correct. The price just went up. And this one was also spot on. But there was no way to enter. Price just came back, boom, shot up, and then just stayed here for the rest of the week. But overall, right, considering that these markets are becoming choppy as a lot of them are reaching these higher time frame area of interests. Like a lot of them are reaching the target areas, right? So it's creating that choppy price action. So to still be capitalizing not only on my technical analysis and the probability of the markets that I'm analyzing playing out, but also to end the week profitable. I'm proud of myself for that, you know? I'm still adapting to this, to a different style of trading. You know, I'm not marking the grades on the trades. I'm purely just analyzing, what can I see? Does this make sense? Is it backed? Is what I'm thinking backed by the technicals? Or am I just thinking what I want to see? Right? I hope that makes sense, because it makes sense to me. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Let's run it. So, the next trade we took after this, EuroCAD. Beautiful, right? This trade is where the lessons can be learned, right? So, my analysis, beautiful. The first trade I took, a beautiful entry, beautiful stop loss, right? You can see we entered when the price was breaking out here with this beautiful break and retest. Everything was lovely about that. You see, we're clearly breaking out of this channel. Price pushed up. Now it hit my target area of interest. Then it pulled back, and then I closed. Because in my mind, it's like, okay, price has done what I wanted it to do. But now it's already done that, so it can do all this other shit and pull back. So I closed sort of out of fear. It was like a bit of fear, but a sort of like, okay, it's done what I expected it to do. I'm just going to get out. I didn't set an alert, so I wasn't aware that price was there. By the time I looked at my phone, price had come back here. But again, right, this is a bullet point to use. So we had the higher time frame, structure and momentum. Yeah, I did not hold the position. So I understood that and I paid more attention than last week, but then I still didn't give that higher time frame structure and momentum enough significance, which I should have, and that would have led to me holding this position and understanding. Look at this strong ass momentum, right? Above the 12 hour. We're coming up to this EMA. Is it not probable that we're going to start getting really choppy around this psychological level, EMA in my target area. That's what I should have been thinking. And if I did, and I would have done that, this position, it was up about 700 around here. So, you know, it would have made a nice little like 1.2. And that would have been stage 1 passed. We'll just think of it as 1.2 or 2 risk to reward. You know? We're gonna lock that. But so I'm gonna write these down so we can come back next week and actually have a list to be like, okay, did you do this? Did you do this? Right? And of course the pen doesn't fucking work. Surely I have more pens. What the fuck? I've got no pens. I used to have right. I'll be back in a minute. Right, got my fucking Parker. We are good to go. Still recording. Okay, what did we call this? Called it Friday market look back learning. I like that name. Friday market look back learning. Right, just underline that. So, EuroCAD is where we're getting this point from. EuroCAD, right? So the point being is higher time frame structure and momentum, right? Higher time frame structure plus momentum equals hold and take the risk. And take the risk of losing profits. Because that's what it boils down to. I didn't want to lose too much profits. So just accept that risk. This is the market to accept that risk. Like again, I played it beautifully on NZD USD, but when it came to EuroCAD, I didn't. I was playing EuroCAD as I was playing NZD USD when they're two separate games, right? The strategy should have been not completely different, but the strategy should have been adjusted, right? EuroCAD, make that a bullet point. So obviously I'll write these down as well on the computer. So higher time frame structure plus mode. Oh, does that actually work now? Fuck, it doesn't. higher time frame structure plus momentum equals hold. Take the risk of losing profits for potential gains. For potential greater gains. We always put that. Losing profits for potential greater gains. So that was I'm not going to say that was a complete point from, obviously last week I mentioned it, but it wasn't completely overlooked. It was just it wasn't given the significance it needed, right? Because I understood that clearly from the market. Because when I was entering, okay, we have momentum and we have structure. So these are the markets for me to be aggressive on my entry and conservative on my exit. That's what I needed, right? Equals, yeah. So we have the main bullet point, higher time frame structure plus momentum. Oh, this is gold. This is why I speak to myself and journal this shit live. Because if I was just looking at the markets, I wouldn't have really thought of that. Look how much shit I've had to spew out just to get to that point. But that's the key point that I needed to get this across. So I'm actually going to rephrase this. Right? Higher time frame structure and momentum equals aggressive entry and I think that's how conservative. I don't know how you spell it. Conservative exit. Yeah. So now that it's already written here, aggressive entry / conservative exit. Conservative exit. Lovely bit of there. So that was the point from this market. But other than that, it was gorgeous, beautiful. We did exactly what we needed to do. We just needed to get that point across to me, myself. And I believe that those were all the trades I took. Double check. Last week, EuroCAD, we took 3 positions on EuroCAD. Yeah, actually, that's another point that I forgot. I actually doubled down on this position. So again, that high time frame structure momentum, I understood that very well. So I doubled down on my position. And it was basically like the same entry where I saw on these lower time frames, I saw price start to push back up. I believe I entered here, price pulled back. I saw price start to push up again, and then I doubled down on my entry because I understood that the higher time frame and the structure and the momentum of that was there. So I felt good. I saw it. I was like, yeah, this is the type of trade, type of market that I'm going to double down my position because these are the potential winners. So higher time frame structure and momentum, we can double down. And we take aggressive entries and conservative stop losses, conservative exits, and potential double downs. We'll also add that to the notes. Potential for double downs. Watch me smack that. Potential for double downs. Does it matter that it's not spelled right? No. So double check those trades again. We took NZD, USD, and Euro GDP. Where the fuck is the trade on Euro GDP? I fucking took one. So where the fuck is it? That's a bit of a piss take. We took a small loss on that. So I'm going to have to go find that. Because I fucking screen record every trade. It's not that. Euro GB, here it is. Let's find this position now. Buy. 5 minute. I can find this. Tuesday. So it was here. Looks like another clock. Bang. So we took this position right here. Take profit was somewhere up above here. Stop loss was below here. Yeah, that's exactly where we took the trade. No, it wasn't that. Yeah, so again, we took this position. Let's just actually figure out where we close this position. Stop level. It should be 8651, 86514. So we close this position here. And obviously you would have seen if we would have held this position, we would have been stopped out and then the market would have made its actual move. So I did the right thing on this one. I did. So we had structure, right? Again, this is where you got to really think, because the structure and momentum is beautiful, but it's also pushing to the downside, right? Whereas EuroCAD was the same, but we had more bullish structure. Whereas Euro GDP, it wasn't quite it. The 12-hour EMA was there. The daily EMA was very close. But again, there's potential, right, for us to capitalize again if we break. We're actually broke highs. So again, there's another aggressive opportunity. This is not what I'm doing today, but aggressive opportunity for this. So when this market creates a pullback, which it's going to just capitalize on this quick little move here to this area of interest, EMA. So that should be like that. Beautiful. Absolutely lines up to a T. Yeah. So what did I do well on this trade? What did I do right? I did well on entering, understanding where the market was going to go. I did well on exiting because I avoided a big loss. And you can clearly see that when I entered, the market was just creating these dojis. And it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. That's what I do understand well. I understand what the market should be doing. If my probabilities that play out and what I'm analyzing is correct, we shouldn't have seen all this. We should have just seen price go. And it's when price just goes, that's what I'm waiting for. And that's where there's such lower risk, right? Because that's all trading really is. It's just about managing risk. Like you can see, right? Last week I placed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I placed 6 trades, right? I lost 3. And some of them were bigger losses than others. But because I won NZD USD, I closed NZD USD and EuroCAD, and they weren't even at the take profits, right? Those trades were just closed slightly in profit, and those slightly in profits covered my 3 losses, plus made me 2%. And that's after, let's see, because I managed my risk so well. Like none of those losses hit my full stop loss. Because if each one of those would have hit my full stop loss, I would have lost 1.5. Right, so there'd be an extra. So I'd have been down 2% rather than up 2%. But I managed my risk so well that that didn't happen. And now I'm still up 2% on a week where I closed some positions I shouldn't have, and then I closed some positions that weren't completely it. So I did, to me, I did a fucking cracking job, And it's just these little tweaks now each week that I'm going to make. that by the end of this year, I'll be fucking flying through profits. I'll be flying through everything. Challenges, payouts. You'll see. I always keep visioning the G-Wagon. It was the C63 and now I'm seeing the G-Wagon. But, I'm going to get my AMG. I'm going to have no job. Everything will be achieved. Like, just not to focus too much on that, but to focus on the real work. Like this, breaking the market down now on Friday, doing it again on Saturday. That's what it's about, Because I never did this before, no. So, that is all the trades. Market is not going to close for another 2 hours. And then we'll get into breaking down the markets for next week. But those are just the trades that I took this week. And already I can see this is going to be my analysis. This is going to be in my pairs for next week. Some type of little quick pullback, push to the upside, just from the daily alone. This, we're going to obviously waiting for the sell positions, but this needs to slow the fuck down. So, and we have, look at this. This is lining up beautifully for a sell. Obviously not this month, but next month, the potential for a sell is there. Like next week, if we can continue to see the market slow down, so you can see it's getting choppier. You see that market slow down, it's probably going to fuck around in this box. Then we're just going to wait for a break underneath that EMA, the momentum on the higher time frames, and then there's a beautiful sell position back down on where we just bought from. Euro GDP is in a good position to buy, honestly. I'm just not going to buy below here. If it comes above this, I'm 100% in buys for this little bit of range. But we have left head, right shoulder, like left head, right shoulder. So there's also a sell potential there to come back down to this area. A lot of possibilities, you can clearly see. I'm going to mark it but delete it real quick just to show what I'm looking at. What the fuck is banging? So this area, we have psychological level, EMA for the week, for the monthly to come down, the weekly to create that push down, daily to continue breaking to new lows to then be able to shift structure. So you can see choppy price action as it comes on the daily to create that little lower high to then potentially shift. So we'll see it. We'll see. That's for tomorrow once the markets have actually closed. But for now, that was just literally looking over the trades that I took, why I took them, how I can improve. And the main point we took away was higher time frame structure and momentum equals aggressive entry and conservative exits and high potential for double downs. But overall, I implemented last week. I implemented it well, like the lessons. Was there room for improvement? Of course, there always is. But that's what we look to do next week. We look to fill that room with improvement. It's very simple. Very simply put. Quick little 28 minutes. There's nothing else to really go over. This music might have been a bit loud, I don't know. Drake's fucking annoying. Like, just wanted J. Cole on, Fuck Drizzy Drake. The Batty Boy. Ditto J. Cole. When you put classic. Scooter Reddit to no role models. Good shit. Anyways, that's me done for the week. Well, for the week for trading anyways. After Tuesday, I wasn't even looking to trade. I really wasn't. I saw all the markets play out. I took my trades. Like, nah. You're not bitch pregnant, I'm a bit better than you. In a bit.